always, there will be... That was way too fast. Okay. Hey, what's up? I'm Allie and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing my November wrap-up and also talking about some things that are going to be happening on my channel, as well as talking about my end of the year reading plans because, yeah, we're there. We're there already. I still feel like I was pretty much in March until November hit, so this is all very jarring. I am going to do my November wrap-up. I did only read 3 things in November because I participated in NaNoWriMo and decided to write a book instead of read a book. But I still got some done. However, I'm also going to mention 2 books that I have already finished in December. Because they are holiday themed, I figured I'd get my review out to you guys now so that you know whether or not you want to read it this holiday season. Also, this video, my haul, and then one other surprise video are going to go up this month. However, those are going to be the only videos I'm putting out this month. I am taking a break from posting in December. However, that does not mean I'm taking a break from working. No, because I don't know what that means. I am hopefully going to be prepping some videos that will then go up in January. I have a lot of video ideas that I really want to get to in the new year, and this is kind of just allowing me to kind of get a little bit of a head start so I'm not rushing through everything. During that time, I am still going to be active on social media. I will probably be posting polls, the community tab, as well as on Twitter and Instagram, asking about some things to clarify for the new year and what you guys want to see in the new year. So I will be active over there, so give me a follow. All my socials are linked down below. If you missed it, I did make an announcement on Twitter that there is a new project I'm also going to be working on in the new year. I kind of pre-announced it, but I am going to be working on doing gaming stuff as well. So I did set up a Twitch for streaming, and I do have a YouTube as well as Instagram and Twitter set up for this new project, and this project is called With Malice. I am going to start streaming in the new year as well, so I will leave all the links for that down below as well if it is something you're interested in. I chose to keep it separate because I know that it's not going to be content for everyone. I think that sometimes when you have an audience that knows specifically what they want, don't mess with it, you know? So if you are interested, that is something separate that I am also going to be working on. I may post some more experimental life content over there as well that don't really fit in with Hardback Hoarder, so just don't know. I hope that you will join me on this adventure. It's going to be something new for me. Because I'm a girl, I'm probably not good at gaming. I've told myself that for years. And, you know, I feel like I've been missing out. So it's time for me to get on board. Anyway, now that we have those announcements out of the way, let's go ahead and get into my wrap-up. As always, there are going to be timestamps linked down below so you guys can jump around to whichever title you're interested in learning about. The first one on the list is Take a Hint, Dani Brown. I've been really into contemporary romance lately. I've been needing a little steaminess in my life, especially because in November my Nano project was actually a contemporary romance itself, and it also follows a fake dating trope such as the same as Take a Hint, Dani Brown. One day a video goes viral of the security guard carrying Dani out of a building, and everyone believes that they are dating, and they start a hashtag and everything. The security guard has a nonprofit organization and they love it. They eat it up and they want to interview him and his girlfriend. The problem is that him and Dani are not dating. So Dani thinks that he's like delicious and she wants a bite of that, and she has never been into commitment type relationships. She likes the flings, the one and done type deals, all that kind of good stuff. So she's trying to find a way to not spill coffee on herself. She's trying to find a way to sleep with him. So when this fake dating thing comes up, she's like, this could be it. So they decide to engage in a fake dating, and of course, one thing leads to the next, and maybe Dani is the commitment type. Life Chloe Brown was one of my favorite reads of this year, so I was really excited to get into Take a Hint, Dani Brown. However, I feel like I just read this at the wrong time. Normally, I love a fake dating trope, but this just didn't quite feel like it was there for me. It wasn't this kind of angsty build-up to it. It's just like they've already known each other, the build-up is already there, and then they go into it and they just find out that they know more about each other than they cared to admit before. It was fun. I do like the banter that they have back and forth. I love the characters. I think the overall storyline is really great. I do think I may have been burnt out at the time of reading it. However, since I was also working on a contemporary romance, I think it was just too much for me, because contemporary romance is something that I personally feel that I have to have in doses. It's not something that I look forward to all the time, despite what the rest of this wrap-up will make it seem like. But I don't know, there was just something that felt kind of lacking there for me. I also had a really hard time just staying concentrated on the story, which could be a fault of my own, but I still have to add it into my personal reading experience of it. I don't think that there was anything necessarily wrong with the story, it was just that it just felt lacking to me. It was just missing something that I was looking for in this fake dating trope. And while I liked the characters, I honestly felt at times the chemistry was a little forced. So it ended up being a 3.5 for me. It was more of my experience than anything. I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with this writing or this plot. It was just not exactly what I think I was looking for in the moment. So I've heard nothing but great things. The steamy scenes were so good. So good. So I would still definitely recommend this, giving this a try. Everyone else loves it. It was just something in my experience just wasn't fitting together. I do think maybe I will give the series a whole reread in the future once it is completed, but for now, 3.5. Then I read They Wish They Were Us. There is a much better cover than this art cover. And this was on my October TBR, however, I'm also reading it for another video that I plan on releasing, hopefully in January. This takes place at a private school, and we follow one girl. Her best friend was killed 3 years previously, and her boyfriend was arrested for the crime, and life has kind of gone on. She is now part of a secret society at the school, and it talks about kind of some of the hijinks with the secret society. It talks about her personal relationships with the people within this secret society. However, of course, with any secret society, there are a lot of secrets to unleash. She gets text one day saying that her friend's boyfriend is actually innocent and that he did not kill her all those years ago. So she is kind of interested. She wants to learn the truth. So she starts investigating and finds out more secrets to uncover about the school and the society and just the community and her friends. Who can she trust? The people that she thought she could trust aren't who she can trust anymore. So this was such a great YA mystery, dark academy type story. I personally find it really hard to find a really well-written YA mystery, but I think that this does it. Part of the secret society does involve hazing as well, which, you know, quite the college scandals happen around that, and I do think that it is a very real thing. So there is a part of that that plays into this, so I do think at times it is very realistic. I will say that I felt like there was some red herrings in here and I was eating them up, so I think it did a really good job at misleading me at times, and I thought the mystery was really well done. I thought there was a really nice balance between seeing these relationships and the mystery as well as the secret society. I just really enjoyed this. I really like kind of the small community drama type thing. That is one of my favorite tropes. It's just like small town drama, and I think this also plays into this. There were a few things in this that I was just kind of like, you know, okay, sure, I'll roll with it, but I don't remember feeling that way that much as I normally do with YA mysteries. I really ended up enjoying this. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I do think that it is a great pick for dark academia, for starting into dark academia. I think that this is just like a great YA introduction to that. It was quite addicting too. Like, I reached a point where I was like, I gotta figure out what the heck is going on, who the hickety heck done did it. I always gotta punch something when I, who done did it. Gotta punch him. Then we have Kingdom of the Wicked. Now, I saw this when I got in the Fairy Loot Box. 1, it's gorgeous, and 2, my interest was already piqued. This is by the same author who did Stalking Jack the Ripper, the series which I enjoyed for the most part. So I do know that she writes really good kind of banter and hate to love type thing. So I was intrigued. Plus, it's been a while since I've read fantasy, and this just seemed right up my alley. I've been really into devils and demons and stuff lately, which if you end up following my gaming channel, you will see. But this is about a girl who is a witch and her family is full of witches and they have to hide from normal people, otherwise they will be hunted and killed. Her grandma has always told her and her sister stories about the princes of hell and how they're going to come and rip out their hearts and blah 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 blah, and she's just kind of like, whatever grandma, not going to happen. We haven't seen any of these things happen before. They don't exist. That is until her twin sister is murdered and her heart has been ripped out, and so she decides that she is going to get revenge for her sister, despite everyone telling her, you know, don't dabble in the dark magics, don't do it. She don't care, she's gonna avenge her sister. So she thinks that she is summoning a lesser demon. However, she ends up summoning Wrath, who is one of the princes of hell. The princes of hell are actually based around the different sins, so Wrath is one of them, and she ends up, you know, coming in contact with quite a few of the princes of hell, and they are sly, sneaky bastards. But our main character, she has to learn to be sly and sneaky as well. I will say, there is a lot packed into this book. I would go like 10 pages and it was like 47 events that happened. It was so exciting. I have been recommending this to people since I finished it because it got me out of just like this severe book slump that I felt like I was in, that I just wasn't like enjoying reading anything. This was the first book that I've sat down and read in months. And this just really filled some sort of void that I was feeling. It had all the things that I love. It has this hate to lust. It has a very sexy love interest, just saying. It has great banter. It's got some fantastical elements, but it's not too much. It's not overbearing. It's not like learning a whole new world. They're all set in a world that we are all very familiar with, and the magic is pretty simple for the most part, and it's definitely more about the connections that she is making and trying to solve this murder more than it is on this like complex world. So I do think that over time it will probably get more complex, but for right now this was so good. It was not overbearing, it didn't do too much, and I just really loved it. It was pretty light for being a fantasy and it was just really enjoyable. Is it perfect? No. There were definitely some times where I was like, this is really. There were some parts that were kind of cheesy. There were some parts that were kind of stereotypical. There was some parts that I just felt weren't totally believable, and there are some jumps made in conclusions to things. Sometimes I have a really hard time following that when the character has this idea and they come up with this conclusion and I can't see where it came from, where this thought process came from. That seems to be a problem that I personally have over and over in books, so I'm starting to realize that might be something more on me and not necessarily writers, but there were times where I was like, are we jumping to conclusions? I can't tell. Maybe I'm just not following along. I loved the tension that is being created in this book, and I just am so excited to see where this goes. I cannot wait for the next one. I was like, why do I do this to myself? I need to start waiting for series to be finished and then binge read them, because this was so good. Yes, I have been recommending this. It is just a really fun read. This has really stuck with me too after the fact. Like, I can't stop thinking about it, and it's been a really long time since I have felt the need to be like this in love with characters. About this, I ended up giving this a 4.5. Would highly recommend it. Honestly, it's probably in one of my top reads of the year, despite not being a full 5 stars. I have realized lately that most of my all-time favorites are not 5-star reads all the time. They gotta have flaws, you know? And I have 2 December reads that I have read and just want to let you know in case you want to read them for the holiday season. And that one of which was In a Holidaze. This is a new one by Christina Lauren. This was a really heartwarming story, and I loved that it had like holiday hijinks and stuff involved. And I was really nervous going into this because it kind of has a Groundhog Day storyline in that. This follows Malin. Her and her family get together with another family at Christmas time, and they spend Christmas at this cabin. And we start at the end of their holiday stay, and you find out that Malin is in love with one of the brothers from the other family, but she makes out with the wrong brother. And the one that she loves has seen it, and she's like, this is all messed up. So she's in a car accident and she wakes up, and it's actually at the beginning of the holiday. So she's been given a chance to relive this holiday and fix everything. There are more things to it than just kissing the right brother. There's a lot of other different layers to the reason that she has to restart. I was very nervous because I hate time travel books. I hate repetitive books. I was very nervous going into this, but I think the authors did a really good job of not making it repetitive, even though she's living the same day over multiple times. So I did really enjoy that. I never once felt like it was just like too much, and honestly, you don't spend that much time on the repetitive dates. Instead, you know, she's learning pretty quickly what she needs to fix and move on and, you know, make things right. And this is a very heartwarming tale. They have snowball fights and there's contests, and it's just about like Christmas traditions that she does with her family and this other family, and it was just a really fun light read. Andrew is the brother that she loves, and I did enjoy their conversations with each other. However, going into this, I was expecting a different love interest to happen, and I was waiting for it to happen. I was thinking that maybe it was a misconnection type thing going on. So for the rest of the book, I did feel a little let down because it wasn't who I personally was rooting for. The person that she ends up going for is too perfect in my mind. He had no flaws, and I just felt like it was very unrealistic, especially because the other brother is shown with very many flaws. So the fact that they would come from the same family and have no similarities didn't feel realistic to me. What do I know though? Who knows? And then there is kind of a grand gesture at the end that I was just kind of like, oh, that's more yikes than cute in my opinion. But again, my personal opinion, and I'm sure a lot of other people would think it was a really cute gesture. I did think that this was really fun. I'm giving it a 3.5. It was enjoyable. It was a really quick read. It was something definitely, you know, that made me get in the holiday spirit, but I honestly do feel like it is quite forgettable for me. It just wasn't what I was expecting going into it, and I just needed a little more angst. I like my romance with a little more angst, and this was just more cute than what I was looking for. Which then led me to, because I was looking for something a little more angsty, and because I love the fake dating trope, I decided to give it a Christmas date a try. I came across this on Scribd, and I was like, why not? This is about a woman who is kind of known, I guess, more as a workaholic. She works for some sort of like filming industry, ad industry type thing, and her sister is getting married to the guy that she's in love with, and she's sick of hearing from her family that she's single for the holidays. She's sick of hearing that she needs to settle down, that she's getting older, and so she's just done with it. She hates that her sister's getting married and doing all these things without her, so she decides to hire one of the actors in her database in order to be her Christmas date. And he is her sister's ideal boyfriend. Some revenge plot things happening here, and of course fake dating, the sexy main character, what can I say? This was kind of like exactly what I was looking for. I listened to this within a 24-hour period. I couldn't stop listening. It was just so what I needed at the time. I loved the little angsty, I loved the banter, I just really enjoyed this. Is it the best writing of all time? No. Is it the most realistic story? No. Is it a good time? Heck yes it is. I recommend this if you are looking for a really quick Christmas kind of romance. As you can probably guess, the fake dating turns into something else. The build up to it is probably the most iffy part, but after the build up, everything just like happens, and it was good, and I was eating it up. I think honestly I would give this one a 4. Again, writing is not the best, however it is exactly what I wanted, what I was looking for. I will say that the ending was probably the most let down for me. I just wanted a little bit more from the ending than what it gave me, but overall it was a great time. Oh, I need to tell you my reading plans for the end of the year. Holy crap. Too many things. So that is my wrap up. Now I'm very quickly going to go into my reading plans for the rest of the year. These are just the books that I mostly need to finish, because apparently my main thing that I like to do this year was to pick up books and then just stop randomly in the middle of them and set them down for months at a time. I don't know. 2020 was a very weird reading year for me, honestly. So some of the books that I'm currently in the middle of and have been for actual months. 2 that I started started in October. One is Mexican Gothic. I need to finish that. I was really enjoying it. Don't ask me why I set it down. I don't know. Also, Storm of Locusts. I started this in October. Meant to finish it. I'm really enjoying it. Don't ask me why I set it down. I don't know. And then I started back in April. A Court of Wings and Ruin. This would be, I think, my third reread, but I was rereading this series with Amanda and Vanessa, and we were having a good time, and then a lot of crazy stuff happened and just kind of fell off, but I would like to finish rereading this and then A Court of Frost and whatever the heck it is before A Court of Silver Flames, or whatever the heck it's called, comes out. So I just want to finish off my reread of the series. And then one that I started, I think in May, Skyward. Personally not really enjoying this. I do have reasons that I quit reading this, and it was mostly because it was for a video that I was doing. I'm hoping to eventually get out still. But basically I ended up losing the footage, but was recently able to have the footage recovered. It was a process, my friends. So hopefully I can get that done and then have the video up eventually. Yes, this video has been in the making since April last year. I recently started A Deadly Education, so I think I would want to finish that before the end of the year. Two more that I haven't started but still would like to read before the end of the year. Piranesi, I think that this is going to end up being a favorite of mine, so I am very excited about that. And then We Wish You Luck. This is for a video that I plan on hopefully having out in January, so I would like to get this finished as well. There are a lot of other great content creators out there currently participating in Vlogmas and Bookmas and all other kinds of holiday themed videos. I will be trying to share some of my favorites throughout the rest of the month on Twitter. I hope you guys have liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to see future videos from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next one. Bye!